We're live. We're live. Wednesday, January 20th, 2021, Inauguration Day. Probably nobody's out there. You're all just looking at the news and enjoying it. Everybody's excited. It's a wonderful day, I guess. How's everybody doing? I got my one listener. Tonight we're talking about everything. UFOs, Bigfoots, cults, secret societies. Yes. Is this enough to get me deprogrammed? I hope so. How is everybody? I think the ghost, I gotta wait till some people come in here for feedback. Esoteric knowledge. I was trying to look up the command to look last night and I deleted my thing because it sucked. Tonight's my first time doing an ad. Hope everybody saw it. Probably losing some steam. I was gathering some chatters. Can't do it every night. Maybe I did some ones that were bummers. What's up? What's up? Well, I guess tonight's topic would not just be all that, but it includes esoteric knowledge. And I will do it. I'll probably switch the topic to this. Since nobody's here, I'm going to book review magic in the form of The Command to Look, which is a book. The Command to Look. Got 2 listeners. Come on, jump aboard. We're starting off with esoteric stuff. Everybody get in the chat room. Don't be afraid. Maybe be afraid. I don't know. Starting off with esoteric magic art. The Command to Look, which is a book called The Command to Look, a Master Photographer's Method for Controlling the Human Gaze, a book by George Dunham and William Mortensen. William Mortensen is the photographer they're speaking about. He, quote-unquote, found a formula that any picture that, quote-unquote, goes places does so by following a definitive psychological formulae. Quote-unquote, Mortensen said, as I have found by experiments with my students, the formula is one of wide applicability. Anyone of fair technical competence should be able, by making use of this formula, to bring about a substantial improvement in the effectiveness of his pictures. The picture must, by its mere arrangement, make you want to look at it. So as you might expect, he took pictures of a lot of good-looking people, shall I say? The artist persists in being an artist because he revels in the feeling that he may affect or influence people by his work. Definitely. Which I got nothing against the Marvel comic book movies. But they are dominating. Who can compete with Doctor Strange and Iron Man? I'm so weird tonight. I apologize. The thought that he may think his work influences people and strikes past their defenses to their secret emotion gives him a gratifying sense of power. Anybody in the chat? Ah, Elizabeth, my friend, is in here. We're talking about the book, The Command to Look. Command to Look, Master Photographer. Change. The Command to Look is considered one of Mortensen's most momentous and rare books. Until now, copies on the antiquarian book circuit sold for many hundreds of dollars. It's a crucial book for the understanding of both Mortensen's philosophy and his use of psychology in the making of pictures. Now, the picture image in the front page of the Command to Look is personally one of my favorite pictures. And how can I say this without getting in trouble? That's not a woman. The Command to Look cover consists the face of an esoteric tantric master. So he looks like he's looking down on the table. Incredible. George Dunnan. It's got essays by a Michael Moynihan and a Larry Lytle. This is art at its esoteric fineness. We've got 2 listeners on tonight, the Star Show. It's got to make you take the double take. The picture must make you look at it. Must make you look at it. To all who come within its influence, it says briskly, whatever. Look at me. It must command you to look at it. It's got to give you the double take. Since the imperative often has the effect of a force applied against the inertia or indifference of the looker, I shall frequently refer to it hereafter as impact. Meaning can drive the look. Humans must preserve themselves, so fear response is very good for the human to get you to double take and really seize their minds and look at it. Look at pictures because I'm afraid of them? ? You will say. What a preposterous idea. Of course, fear is the motivator. The ultimate motivators are fear and pleasure. The Command to Look. Sorry. I usually freeze my ass off in here. Now, tonight for some reason it's hot. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. So, other factors being equal, and mass becomes more threatening and dominating the larger it is. So I love pictures like that, especially a little person, and then there's the Pyramid of Egypt, a little person there, or a regular guy standing next to the Incredible Hulk or something. If in music you build the climax, and then you build up gradually. Frequently, the culmination is arrived at through a series of minor climaxes in a song, but in the picture, the reverse is true. The climax must arrive first. The climax must arrive first. There are 4 basic picture patterns that have a particularly large degree of the ability to command your attention. The thing that holds our interest in the picture is primarily, of course, the subject. That's probably why it's always, Miss Universe or something, or a pinup person. The thing that the picture is about, but barely recognizable. The impact of a picture has an initial crash of its pattern, commands our attention. We have seen this because of its association of a few basic fears. The essential elements are taught to us by Cecil B. DeMille, the amazing circus guy. Or no, Cecil B. DeMille is the guy that had the... Am I losing you, Elizabeth? Does this suck? I'm sorry. Cecil B. DeMille. I'm going to look him up in a section. So, Sex, Sentiment, and Wonder. One of his more fantastic pictures is not a nude or anything. It's the death of Hypatia. And she's kind of brooding. But the Tantric Master guy is incredible. He also has another picture of a guy thrusting his hand in another guy's eyes. It's crazy. So, when attention is secured, you must reward it with the subject matter of wide emotional appeal. The movement I refer to is that of the eye and the mind of the looker. Tactile associations greatly enhance the emotional background of the 3 subject themes. the tactile quality of the smooth shoulders. Nothing like a picture with smooth shoulders. Anybody else here? We got Elizabeth. How are you liking my critique of the Command to Look esoteric book? The Command to Look. I guess he might be considered tacky by some, but as far as Command to Look, I've always enjoyed, personally, the artist Frank Frazetta. Oh, I lost a listener. His are incredible. The Conan the Barbarian. Psychoanalysis. So the pictures have the trauma. In terms of psychoanalysis in society, the term trauma is pushed around so much that it's lost its catastrophic overtone. So this is separate from the picture stuff. Did I lose you guys? The esoteric command to look. Ah! Got my Dunkin' Donuts. Who's up there tonight to chat? Sorry. I haven't been doing this very well lately. I was more going to talk about everything tonight if I got enough people. But I thought that book was interesting. I'm going to actually call this rant basically about that author. The Command to Look is a great book. It was rare on the antiquarian book market, but they do now have it on Kindle and Amazon if you wish to go for it. And I think some relatively reasonable prices on eBay as well. So he used, he did use some grotesque stuff. He does have Quasimodo. He's got the Tantric Master. William Mortensen himself was an intense guy. I don't know. I think Anton Sendozor Levay. I never say his name right. Anton LaVey, the Church of Satan guy, I guess was into him. I think. Why's that book coming up in Google Head? It's very forbidden, mystical, grotesque art. The Incredible Bad Taste of Mortensen. I don't think he has bad taste necessarily. It's just intense. People rag on him? Message board saying they rag on him. I don't know about that. Mortensen. Is a fascinating dude. He's got an incredible portrait of a witch person on a broomstick. That's why I'm thinking of Frank Frazetta. They have her physical proportions are very much like the woman portrayed by Frank Frazetta in the Conan the Barbarian. He did a lot of the Conan book covers, I believe. Quasimodo. He has a very, very frightening pictures. Photographer Ansel Adams called the Antichrist. What does she know? The hell does she know? Did I lose everybody? I don't know. Yeah, I guess he is. Maybe she's right. And maybe Ansel is right. Maybe he's very satanic. Pictures. William Mortensen. I believe she said that. She's the one who gave him credit, though. The Tantric Sorcerer. 1932. I'll put that in line. Tantric Sorcerer, one of my favorites. He does look like the Sax Roma character of Dr. Fu Manchu. Insidious is probably extremely considered in bad taste at this time. Apologize to anybody who's Chinese. I'm just bringing it up that it's part of American pop culture. And he's an awesome character. He has got very grotesque, occult, and erotic stuff. I guess he died in 1965. And he liked exquisitely pretty women and grotesque monsters. Anybody out there in the chat? William Mortensen, hunt, and he's got a lot of women on broomsticks, apparently. American Grotesque, The Life and Art of William Mortensen. Ansel Adams called him the Antichrist, which is mine. Okay, Anton LaVey, Master of the Macabre. Yeah, Anton LaVey, definitely. That's the fellow. That's the gentleman with the goatee, and he did the satanic stuff. His some of his paintings truly are grotesque. So I suppose he was a very, very spooky, to say the least. Can't say I advocate everything about him. Some of the stuff looks pretty, violent and over the top, but nevertheless, it's striking. And I did read a synopsis of his techniques. Oh, I don't look good tonight. I hate that. So yeah, he got a new life birthed into his career, probably because of the comments of Ansel Adams. Let's take a look at an entry for him. He was American glamour. I don't like the term. That's what Russ Meyer said. Glamour. Primarily known for its Hollywood portraits. Oh, Hollywood portraits. Picturesque style. He's from Park City, Utah. He studied illustration at the Art Students League in New York City. He went as an escort to Hollywood with his friend's sister, Fay Ray. He was declared to have no talent for drawing. Hollywood actors. He photographed actress Margaret Livingston in 1927. So, yes, his stuff is erotic, sadomasochistic, and fucked up. Again, Ansel Adams variously referred to Mortensen as the devil and the Antichrist. In addition, the more realistic photojournalism emerging from World War II. Correspondence. He was largely forgotten by the time of his death, 1965. All good guys are largely forgotten and die penniless and insane. Still trying to play a peanut photograph. How's everybody out there? Give me a shout. Got an article here about Mortensen. Ah, I lost my other listener. It's going slow tonight. Hope you guys found something out tonight, though. American Grotesque. Grotesque stuff is readily stuff, those cable television horror TV shows and whatnot. Grotesque is in. It's been in for a long time. Apparently there's a Mortensen Hall in Connecticut, and it's temporarily closed. The Antichrist of early 20th century photography. American Grotesque. The name is William Mortensen. Violence, nudity, and the occult collide. American Grotesque. Yeah, I guess I didn't really look at these carefully. They're really over the top. And he was operating a long time ago, in the 1930s. 1937 is when he published the command to look. Detailed and highly popular guide to create photographs that capture viewers' attention and trigger strong psychological responses. That they did. Three-step perform. In it, Mortensen lays out a three-step formulae to produce such effective pictures. Picture patterns that arouse fear carry the most emotional appeal. The Woman with the Skull. 1926. Well, yeah, if you Google image this guy, it's like very, very. I don't even think they have anything that touches this guy nowadays in the modern era. And we have a lot of strange stuff. I'd say Antichrist would be a good thing for him. Good name. Down to one viewer again. The command to look. Forgotten Hollywood photographer. I don't know if that theater's named after him that comes up. For us, Mortensen was the Antichrist, and so Adams. Oh, he's got kind of a pit and a pendulum thing. Oh, I thought Ansel Adams was a woman. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. A guy. An idiot. Oh, yeah. Well, his stuff is beautiful. Far superior than Mortensen's, I guess. And he did take that snapshot of very, very famous picture of the Depression era. The woman, the very pretty, very beautiful housewife with the kids. And the national parks. Ugh. Ansel Adams National Park in his Yosemite pictures. Now I remember him. Okay. Way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time. No, some of his stuff selling $8,500. Wow. He's an American landscape photographer, environmentalist, known for his black and white images of the American West. He helped found Group 64, an association of photographers advocating pure photography. Sharp focus and the use of full total range of the photograph. Ansel Adams. I'll get him in the chat. We thought that Mortensen was the Antichrist. I've got 3 listeners. Talking Strange Photography tonight. Was going to talk about Bigfoot, but I probably unprepared. We've got Collier Simard on there. We're talking photography. William Mortensen, American Grotesque. Very, very scary pictures, and then now what? People are sniffing their new prez. Sniffing. Apparently everybody is, yeah. What do you mean about that, Pedro? Oh, I lost another viewer. There's Collier Simard out there. Biographer Larry Lytle. And historian Michael Monahan. Oh, the author of Lords of Chaos. Yeah, it was Feral House. Yep. Adam Palfrey. I know him, or I knew him a bit. Their books were good. Very weird. Lords of Chaos got made into a movie. Yeah. Feral House has got some good books. I don't know if they're still going. Adam has passed away. Craig Hambarker. I've got a slideshow on him. Adam Go Rightly. Discordian Expert. They're all with the Feral House. And Lords of Chaos got made into a movie. Oh, back in the stream. No, I think there's now only one now. Then I briefly talked about Ansel Adams. He more did the national parks, so I can understand why he thought Mortensen, with his grotesque paintings, was the Antichrist. Feral House Publishing. See what they got. Yep, they're still out there. Look at their link in here. Feral House. Good Fortran stuff. Top notch. Top notch. Yes, sorry, Pedro. I lost it already. I didn't know who. Cuyler Simard. That's a cool name. Yeah. The story of Screaming Jay Hopkins. Oh, they got Under an Ionized Sky. I like that. They got a lot of good shit. The Secret Life of a Satanist. That's Anton LaVey. The Command to Look. The one we were talking about. Black metal. Heavy metal. Encyclopedia of Hell. That's cool. They got a lot of good titles. Genes, Giants, Monsters, and Men. Secret Agent 666 is about Crowley's time in MI6. Alleged spy. Love, Sex, Fear, and Death is the inside story of the Process Church of the Final Judgment. They got that one. American Hair Medal. Covert War Against Rock. One of my personal favorites, Carnivals of Life and Death. Got that. Wow, they got way more than I thought. They got Apocalypse Culture 1 and 2 still. I think their most famous one is about the Norwegian death metal, Lords of Chaos. Psychic Dictatorship USA. Very good. Alex Constantine. Some of the greatest book covers. What are these all forbidden now? Probably. Aleister Crowley in the Ouija board. Oh, wow. Did he write about that? Edward J. Cornelius. The greatest ceremony magician of the 20th century, Aleister Crowley, advocated the use of the Ouija board. How is everybody? Down to 2 listeners. I guess tonight it sucks. I'm sucking out. Apologize. American Grotesque, The Life and Art of William Mortensen. Was what we started out with tonight. Well, The Command to Look, his personal book that he wrote in, I think, 1932. Mr. Crowley. Oh. I end up talking about him too much. When you talk about Fortran stuff, you're talking about UFOs, Bigfoot, and Aleister Crowley. Wednesday, 1/20, 2021. Tomorrow will be 1/21, 2021. That'll be Blackjack's Day, the Devil's Day, no? The Devil. I didn't know that he dealt with the Ouija board. What other good ones they have? Feral House. Again, I'm getting onto Feral House's discussion because they published the book on Mortensen ended up being tonight's topic. I did go over The Command to Look. His philosophy that you got to get people to do a double take. They got a book about Ma Bressel, the anti-fascist conspiracy theory woman. They've got Portland Confidential, Sex, Crime, and Corruption in the Rose City. I didn't know it was a Rose City. Well, they got The Bizarre Life of Screaming Jay Hawkins. Doesn't get better than that. They've got my good friend Craig Humbacher's book, Secret Brother, Ritual America, Secret Brotherhoods and the Influence of American Society. What are you guys up to tonight? Come aboard. It's just one of my worst shows I've done. Shows? Is a vlog a show? Yeah, I guess so. I did a YouTube one on this one. put it right in the liner notes. Liner notes? The chat notes. Right here. Somebody retracted the message. It's all right. Ooh, wow. Only one book left, $253. I guess they kind of do that if the guy who wrote the book himself wants to buy it again if he ran out. Several Ways to Die in Mexico City. That looks like a good book. The Process Church of the Final Judgment is a very interesting, weird cult that they did 2 books on here. From Feral House. Again, like me, if you're into all reading weird books, forbidden books, hard to get books, strange books, this is one of the best publishing houses, bar none. They got Wars of Racket by General Smedley Butler. They've got Trust No One, Secret World of Sidney Riley. Riley, Ace of Spies. That's a great one. They got Octopus by Jim Keith. The Murder and Cover-Up of Danny Castellaro. They've got Ed Wood. There's no weird thing without Ed Wood. And they've got the Suicide Girls, SG. They're spirited. Throwback to the glamorous pinup days, the models are beautifully imperfect, artistically bent, emo, goth, punk rockers. $35. I thought they were pretty perfect. I don't think they were imperfect. What else do they got? Okay, Alex Constantine, One is Paranoid. Psychic Dictatorship. Apocalypse Culture and Apocalypse Culture 2 are 2 of the weirdest. But if you want to get weird as hell really fast, those 2 are awesome. Sex and Rockets is about Jack Parsons, who I often talk about. How are you doing, Pedro? Did I not leave a link in there? Of course, his best one is Carnivals of Life and Death by James Shelby Downard. Very, very wild book. Don't know if he's making it up, but it's fantastic. I don't know why they don't have it on Kindle, but you can get it if you really want to check it out for $7.66 used now on Amazon. Creepy book cover. That includes a good amount of the mythos behind the King Killed 33. If you're mental over rock and roll and you like the side stories, Covert War Against Rock is Alex Constantine. More on Brian Jones, Tupac Shakur, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, John Lennon, Notorious Big, Tupac Shakur, Jim Morrison. Were they all wasted by the CIA? Voluptuous Panic, The Erotic World of Weimar Berlin is a wild book. Hot on the conspiracy market is Secret Agent 666 that features Crowley as a British spy theory. Oh, the Psychic Bible. Genesis Briar P. Orridge. One of these books, it's going for $500 to $1,000 at a hard copy. Social ritual, community, creative exploitation, practical magic, liberation, empowerment. Some of these books are really going for a lot if you want them in hardcover, man. Got an open. They've got an excerpt on PDF file if you want to go in this web chat. TOPY. Ah! I guess my vlogs are getting crappy. Just kidding. Phone typing on its own. It's possessed. Yeah. Could happen. Can't possession happen to electronic objects? You command to look. He was educated at the Art Students League. That's William Mortensen is how we started this tonight's relatively good conversation, but not too good. And then we went from there how Ansel Adams called him the Antichrist. And it was already Monsters and Madonna. Oh, there's a documentary about him. Narrated by Vincent Price, the guy who did Thriller, Michael Jackson. Ah, ha, 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 ha. The Thriller. The Command to Look. Great book. But the guy was the devil. I buy that. Well, that's the devil, the church. Anton LaVey, who was big in rock and roll lore. Gary Lackman, the bass player from Blondie, I know him a little bit. He wrote a great book that includes him, Tune Off Your Mind, about the kind of the occult part of the 60s, the whole Conan the Barbarian, X-Men, the whole myths behind that connected to the 60s. The Rolling Stones buying a haunted house and getting scared, Led Zeppelin buying, or Jimmy Page buying the Boleskine house, haunted house. That is included in a lot of detail. I did not realize that the Stones purchased a kind of a haunted house, and there's a story behind that. They became very scared. Of some events that did happen there, allegedly. There was a movie starlet who was hanging around with Anton LaVey, and they're all part of the whole rock and roll mythos, real or imagined. And as the blues went down to the crossroads, Robert Johnson things kind of all in the mix. Moving really slow tonight. Anybody have anything to add to the command to look? Highly recommend Feral House Publishing, I'll tell you, if you're in the mood for weirdness. Definitely. I'm drifting. Huge. Feral House Publishing. Again, if you're in love with the Fortran stuff, go for it. Don't be afraid. Don't be bloody afraid. Don't be afraid to go nuts. Crazy prices for the... I know, the Feral House is gone. I mean, Adam Palfrey passed away. Paranormal... No, that sounds good. Ex Libre. No. Sounds like a good one. It was kind of strange that, yeah, all those type of people are going. Where just a lot of the really cool, messed up books are kind of getting harder and harder to get. Another book I'm interested in, The Art of the Occult, a visual source book of the modern mystic by S. Elizabeth. I gotta look that up. Ex Libre. Is that the full name of the country page? Full name of the thing? You mean for weird forbidden books? The rare book market is hurting, and people in general not reading can't be helping the rare book market, kind of. The rarest of the rare book market. But no, I haven't really seen that one. The actual books by Mortensen, The Command to Look and The American Grotesque, until Feral House got them going, I think they were lost in the super duper rare book market. Well, the Frank Frazetta ones are kind of that Conan guy. Not that easy to get a hold of either. I mean, the really rare ones, or The Life and Art of William Mortensen. I really, the idea of the weird used bookstore, such a shame that's going away. I mean, sick, you know. Wow, they want, for American Grotesque, they want 26. No, they want 29.36 even for Kindle. Eesh. The whole Kindle being cheaper thing is starting to kind of go away. I would say. Apologize, this is one of my worst streamings. It was already I advertised for tonight. I'm not ready with my weird jacket. 51 minutes in. Are you guys having a good time? I got to do a night where we all go on here and we talk about, okay, better vlogs than mine. No, but we should do a night where we talk about we'll just be up front. Let's talk about who's interesting on YouTube. And have some of your favorite bloggers and shows been removed, purged? Hate that. Hate that. I guess they got to be careful. Ex Libre. So I don't. Pedro, what's the full name of the company? I have a song, I think, from the Backstreet Boys in my head. It's not my fault. That's sad. American Grotesque is pretty expensive. The Art of the Occult. That one's pretty expensive. Supernatural Jewels for Surrealist Darlings. Okay. Ethically sourced provisions made by hands in ceremony. Ritual craft. The William Mortensen guy is really weird himself. Wow, they got stationery. OPENSEA Designs Company. Oh, it's like haunted, spooky stationery. Sorry, I'm really going off topic. How is everybody? Send me the link, Pedro, of the weird book company if you want to. Trying to answer emails at the same time. Doing not a good job for you guys. How's your week? Did anybody go to the inauguration? I don't think anybody did. Any VIPs on here? Who does that song? Gonna put this on Twitter. This is my first vlog advertising. Now I'm wondering if it's just randomness. Or I gotta really vlog all night, then people come on. But we were originally talking about the command to look, William Mortensen, then we drifted off. Talked about Ansel Adams, the portrait photographer, because he called Mortensen the Antichrist, which looks justified, I guess. And then we went on a really drifting rant about the very, very interesting publishing house of Farrell House. Probably the most important, well, probably the most famous book is Lords of Chaos. But they have a lot of good ones. And unfortunately, I have some very bad pop music songs in my head. Probably won't be on tomorrow night because this sucked. I gotta prepare better. Well, it's 8:01. I'm gonna put this one up as the command to look. I hope you guys had a good time. Apologize it didn't go quite the way I wanted. I'm gonna keep this up. Get this chat going. Talk more. Pedro, sorry I was born tonight. And hope Elizabeth is doing well. But it's busy. I hope everybody had a good time. Tomorrow will be 1/21/2021. What's going to happen? Hopefully nothing. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Sorry tonight was kind of wacky, but the command to look. If you like tonight's thing, check it out. If you're a photographer, check it out on Amazon Kindle or go to Farrell House website. It's macabre. All right, good night, troops. Talk to you soon. I'll let you guys know if I'm on again, and I promise next time we'll be more lucid. Ciao.